How to traverse a maze. I think left-handed is better on this one. Just stay as far to the left as you can.
Keep left.
Keep left.
Okay. So traversing is not the same as getting out.
Well, it will eventually get you out because you get everywhere. But this is a good way. It's how I'm stringing the top.
Uh huh.
And it's also a way to just walk by every pole and see which one's going to work.
Okay, lead on.
All right, so let's start over.
Staying left. No, I've got this far.
Well, we didn't try all the poles, did we? This one.
Well, okay, we need the creek. We're getting a traversal pound, but not.
What Major League Ball team cap am I wearing?
I don't know. The JVs?
No, Major League.
Well, I have no idea. I don't keep up with baseball that too much.
Perfect, stop.
Traversing the maze. Left, right. I get the picture. And say left. Yep.
So you have a secret method?
No, this is
It's not secret. This is mathematics. This is topology at work.
Topology, the study of surfaces.
Yes. Well, for me, it goes back to the 70s. There are maze traditions all over the world, but the maze tradition that I'm part of started at my fraternity, which was sort of an alternative vision of fraternities in the early 70s. It was a Pike House at Northwestern University. And one of the guys, well, basically, I just heard the story today. Chris Craig, who's an amazingly competent fellow, was sitting around with someone who was taking a psych course and was talking about putting rats through mazes and saying, I wonder what it'd feel like to be a human being put through a maze. Well, Chris decided that he would put that to the test, and we had a maze party. He cleared out all the furniture of this large living room and built this grid of, basically he framed out a crawly space maze through the entire living room area. It's a large living room. And in between there were some rooms and there were some basically treats and toys and special effects of various sorts and little openings inside this maze. And this was a very fun party for us, and we repeated it a couple of times. And when Chris, I think he graduated, anyway, he eventually went away, and there was nobody with that level of competence to do the building of this maze. And I said, but I liked the idea of getting lost in a space for fun. And I came up with this idea to do a maze really cheaply and without much skill. So basically we got these 7-foot sticks that you see and drove them into the ground and wrapped twine around them and put interesting things in the maze to get people to look at it. And the idea is to create a space that's different from your everyday normal space, and use it to relax and have a party and contemplate the universe in a different way than you usually see it. So I guess that's the story. The first time we did it went well, and then I had much higher ambitions the following year, and the following year I got a lot of materials together, but I didn't get the team together with enough enthusiasm to pull it all together in the short amount of time that we had. So I was left with this feeling of failure for decades, and it's just occurred to me recently that nothing stopped me from trying again, so I did. Well, I was kind of a maze nerd when I was a kid. In 5th and 6th grade, when I was bored in class, I would draw mazes. So I kind of know things about how to make mazes work, how they're put together, from a lot of doodling in, I think, 5th and 6th grade. So I basically doodled it out on the ground in between the posts that we had driven, and then I laid out. So there's 3 pieces of twine that define each of the panels of the maze, and I put up the middle one, and then helpers put up the top one and the bottom one, just following the path that I had laid out. So the bulk of the work was sharpening the sticks, with which our host Howie Ritchie did most of the work, and then pounding it in, which I had a number of helpers who were rounded up by Howie's neighbor Rowan Harton, and she got like a half dozen people to pitch in at various points, and they did the hard work of pounding the stakes in. It's not just a maze, it's also a gallery space. One of the ideas is to make it interesting for the eyes as well as for the mind. And since this was all constructed on short notice, I didn't really have anything. So I just went to the local half-price bookstore looking for an art book. And I found a collection of dolly prints, and I found this odd thing, which has some amazing bits of art and photography in it. I don't even know from what year it is. But anyway, we sacrificed this book. It's called Erratic Visual Impact in Current Design. And I still don't know what year it's from. Anyway. So basically the idea is to give people stuff to look at. I love Green Man. I love the way Howie and Linda put on a party almost every week, and it really helped me meet people in Austin, and I'm happy they do it. And a lot of people turned out. I'm glad of that, and I'm hopeful that the idea will continue to spawn repetitions by me and imitations by others. I don't want to own this idea. I want this idea to take off.
Or like next benches, like all benches.
So this is attached to somebody who's like that.
But that could be really great for security.
It could be like a panic maze.
See, part of this. A big part of this.
Oh, I know.